everyone, my battery is about to die, so I'm going to need to change this battery right away. But anyways, today we are going to be working on this bed right here behind me. We are going to be cutting back perennials. I have a plant that's going to be going in here. I bought a boxwood, so I'm going to be planting it in place of where the golden mob cypress was, which I finally figured out its name. You'll probably see it in the video that's going to be publishing right before this video. And we also, so we're just gonna be cleaning up this bed, and I also have to fix that hole right there. I got my husband's tool with me right here. He doesn't know. Shh, don't tell him. So let's go ahead and get started. It's officially fall, it's sweater season, and I like this weather, but not so much in the morning, especially when I get over here to let the chickens out. It's pretty chilly. It's like in the 40s. Thankfully we still didn't have frost yet, so I still have to cover my vegetable garden with a frost cover so that I can extend my season. But right now we are going to be working on this bed over here, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is patch this hole right here because it's smothering one of my plants over here. Here you can see this is a native geranium over here to New Hampshire, and this lattice work is smothering it, and I just left it because the plant is doing okay and I haven't been able to get to it, so now is the time. Let's go ahead and fix it. My husband keeps a lot of his screws and stuff like that in here, so I found this and I'm thankful that I did. Because I was thinking of just using some nails, but I think the screws would be better. I also have here some drill heads in this thing right here, so we're going to be using a pilot hole, if I can open it. So I'll probably use this thing over here to create a pilot hole for the screws before I drill. I think with these types of screws you don't have to drill a hole first, but he only has 2 of these. I actually found 4. They're not exactly similar, but I think I can make it work. I could just use 4 of these without having to drill a hole. That's going to make my job a lot easier. I was just thinking, actually, maybe I should just pull the honeysuckle that's in there, that crept itself in there, before I start doing that. We'll see how rooted in it is. I also got some Pachysandra that's growing under the deck, and my plan is to plant it in front of the shed. This is a very hardy perennial. I think it might be evergreen, and it would be nice to have something evergreen in front of the shed, and something that just kind of is always there and doesn't allow the weeds to grow in there, because I've been battling with the chickens in there. They keep going there and destroying anything that I plant in there. Also, because the area in front of the shed, one location gets a lot of shade and the other location gets a lot of sun, and it just makes it difficult to plant something that works on both sides. So as you're entering the shed, basically like to the entrance of the shed. So I thought this Pachysandra can tolerate the shade and it can tolerate the sun, does well in both, and it's very hardy and will look beautiful all year long. It is aggressive, it does need some control, and that's why I'm planting it there, because just in case if somehow the chickens got to that bed, this thing will still grow, because it is a very aggressive plant. So I'm just gonna lay it over there for now, and then we'll plant it after we're done with this bed. So that's repaired and it looks so much better already. I also cut the bottom off. I used my loppers. It's probably not the best tool to do that. It's a little jaggedy and stuff, but I really needed to get rid of that. This provides me with planting space right here because it was kind of coming all the way up to here, and that was very unsightly and just not necessary at all whatsoever. Makes it hard to clean under it and all that. So this is done, and I'm pretty happy with the results. I don't like the lattice work. I don't like the color. I mean, I suppose if it was a charcoal color, I would like it. So maybe one day I'll paint it. I was looking at it and it looks like it has been painted. So I could just do the same. I could use a spray painting tool and do that. Maybe after I clean all this up, or maybe next season I can do that and just make it look all pretty. It does work, however, with the railing on the deck up there, but I do like the charcoal black a lot better. And that honeysuckle is coming out. It's just super invasive. The roots that I pulled out of there were tons of roots still in the ground, so I may have to spray next season if they start coming up again, and I'm just gonna get rid of it. I have other plans for here. It lived here for a few years, did its job, and I love it, but I also hate it. When it's up on the deck up there, it's just so aggressive. It shoots in all the way into the deck, kind of blocks the door over here. I always have to keep it under control, so it just has to go. Alright, so let's go ahead, start cleaning up. I think I'm going to pull all this milkweed out of here because I don't see any caterpillars on it, so I might as well just pull it. They're providing a different kind of foliage accent, and that's good, but they're not my favorite choice of plant. And I do love their flowers when they bloom. They make a beautiful fragrance also. But they are invasive. This is the swamp milkweed, and I want to plant something else next season in there. I'm going to be also probably pulling the irises on that side next season, not this season, and thinning up the chives and stuff like that. So let's go ahead, give this bed some cleanup. I'll leave the honeysuckle for now. I don't think I want to tackle it now. Next season, when I'm ready to plant something in there, that's when I'll pull it out. So I finished all the bed, and this is what it looks like after I cleared it all up. And you can see those milkweed were taking a big space over there. I was planning on planting the colocasia or elephant ears in the back. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I had some purple elephant ears that I really wanted to plant them in the back over there, but I was too late on doing that. So for the colocasia, I have to start them earlier than when our season starts so that they can put on some growth before I plant them in here. Otherwise they'll take forever. And also because there are things that are growing in front of them, so that will block the sunlight. If they were too small, they wouldn't be able to receive the sunlight, and therefore they won't put on any growth, because they do love being in the sun. So hopefully maybe next year I'll be able to plant them over there, or maybe I'll just get something that will fill in that space really nicely, like a nice perennial in there. And I have a lot of strawberries in here that I'm going to be eventually transplanting into one of my vegetable beds. I was planning on getting to it last year, wasn't able to. It looks like I'm not going to be able to get to it this year either. Be nice if I can, but I have a lot going on, and I need to focus on some crucial things this season right now. And then maybe next season in the spring I'll be able to do that. I always say in the spring and I never get to it, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to do it next time. I cut back most of the perennials, and the tall phlox was taking up a good chunk of the bed, and now it looks sort of empty because it's all gone. And you can see over here the oak leaf hydrangea is starting to put on its fall color, and I love its fall color. It gets this really deep burgundy color and it's absolutely gorgeous. So this provides us with this purple element in here. The chives, I'm not going to touch them right now. Sorry, my hand is shaking. I'm hoping to be able to get a tool that will help me with the shaking soon, hopefully. So the chives, I didn't cut them yet because I want to preserve some of them. So my plan is, hopefully today, I'll be able to do that, to harvest some of it and freeze dry it. And the best way to preserve herbs is to freeze dry them, because that preserves all the flavor. I tried dehydrating it before. Terrible idea. The flavor was horrible. I had to toss all of it away. I'm not doing anything with those because those I just transplanted a few weeks ago, and all the, again, just all the perennials are cut back. So you can see there's a lot of space in here. The thyme, it's really tricky to clean it up because there's a lot of dead in it, but also at the end of the dead you look and there's like green in here. So I'm thinking of just eventually transplanting it into one of my vegetables beds and creating kind of a perennial herb garden in there as well. This way I won't have to look at this, and I'll plant something else that kind of creeps over the rocks and makes beautiful flowers, because that is the idea that I wanted to create. They kind of did this for just a short season. I do love the way how they creep over the rocks, but I just don't like the way how they die. And they're like semi-dead, semi-alive. I just don't like that at all. Okay, so this is the boxwood that I got. This is the Green Mountain boxwood, and that's where it's going to go. And you can see it's already starting to hide that post, although when I put it in the ground, it's going to go a little bit deeper in there. So it's going to lose about a foot of its height, but the idea is to have it here as an evergreen element to hide this ugly post. I painted it black, but you can see that the rain peeled it and the snow and all that. So I'm hoping that this thing will grow and do its job. I kind of want to shape it into a cone, and this is why I got this boxwood over here. And I believe this is a zone 5 to, what's the hardiness zone? Yeah, minus 20 Fahrenheit. So it's hardy to zone 5, which we are in zone 5B. And I'm going to be giving it some holly tone, because so the reason why I'm going to be giving it some holly tone is I noticed that the plants, the boxwoods that I plant in our ground, in our land, tend to get chlorotic. That's because our soil pH is 6.8, and for some reason the types of boxwoods that I'm getting doesn't like that. And I noticed also that there are some locations on our land that are much more high pH than that. There are some locations that are about 7 or 8, and those are rare, but they're there. So I'm gonna grab some holly tone and get this thing planted, and we are also going to shear it today because the weather is really nice. We are going to get some days in the 80s, I think, next week, but I think it should be okay. So I'll try to shear all the boxwoods today. I'll just show you this one, and the rest I'm just going to do off camera. It's looking pretty good right there, so right now I'm just going to shear it and hopefully start creating that cone shape. I'm going to be a little ruthless because it is pretty broad and I want it to grow tightly close together. I don't want this wide openings between the branches. I know that doesn't look like much, but I feel like this would help it start taking shape, and next season I'll also put back some more after it put on some more growth, and hopefully I'll be able to get it into the shape that I want it to. I know the tool that I used is not the ideal tool, but that's the tool I had on hand right now, and I'm in a bit of a hurry. I think that's going to look very nice in there, and I hope you guys can see. It looks a little dark on the camera, but I went ahead and I also put down some more soil on top. I got some back potting soil, put it there because that's all I had. It's going to act anyways like mulch, and also it covered some of the root that was still exposed because I planted it high. And I have, here's some there. I don't want it to be up against the trunk because it will start rotting it. So I forgot to mention that the reason why I chose Hollytone is because Hollytone has some soil acidifier in it, so I don't have to add the soil acidifier separately. And it's designed for shrubs, for evergreen shrubs. So this is perfect for the boxwood. I think it will just be absolutely, will absolutely love it and be perfectly fine. So this was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications of whenever I upload new videos. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button so that more people can see it on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!